G'day, Captain Australia here. Now, I am not 100%, but I think I may be down some kind of a rabbit hole. That I have caused some sort of a glitch in the matrix whereby this weird stuff that I'm doing wasn't coded for by the powers that code, and it's triggering all this weird stuff. So in the last 3 times that I've suited up and gone out practicing for my big walk, and what is the big walk, you ask? That's Captain Australia's big walk, 26th of December 2021. I will walk from Brisbane to Melbourne unassisted, no help. No one's paying me or anything. It's not my job. I'm just crazy. And why am I doing it? It's in service of a charity called the Kids Cancer Project. So my hope is, in doing this thing, you will look at me and look past me and see this important cause. So the Kids Cancer Project, they're in service of science. It's all about the science to resolve pediatric cancer in our lifetimes. There are 950 Aussie kids diagnosed every year. 3 kids every week die, and the ones that don't die, the 80% that actually survive their initial diagnosis and treatment, suffer horrible lifelong health problems. So it's a very worthy cause. Please look past me and look at that. There's links to donate in the sticky post on the Facebook page and pretty much everywhere. So, rabbit hole. The last 3 times that I've dressed up and gone out, I've seen people in distress needing help, like almost immediately upon getting started. And it's weird, man. It's like, that hasn't happened to me in years. The last person we ran into who might have needed help was this lovely, she's an Indigenous lady named Rhonda, quite old, I think, and she was just out wandering the back, these dirt roads out, so halfway between Alice Springs and, I can't remember the name of the other town to the north, and it was just after I'd gotten through the cancer ordeal, the treatment, and we rented a mobile home and we just went bullheading all around Australia. So we went and saw Uluru, kids loved it. Airlie Beach, kids loved it. We went down through Melbourne, up the east coast, it was wonderful. But yeah, we met Rhonda, this old lady just wandering around. She had no supplies, and we took her on, gave her some food and drove her for 4 hours down to the town that she wanted to go to. I don't know what her plan was, that she was going to walk all that way, good on her I guess, but that was the last person I met needing help. And that was like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. But the last 3 days, every day when I've gone out, somebody's been in distress. So Saturday, there was this kid getting beaten up on the Gold Coast. I yell out, stride towards him, the thugs scatter. So that was Saturday. Sunday, I rested. Yesterday, there was a fella with a ute that broke down, so I was able to drop my pack and run on over and see if he needed a push, jump into his ute and like turn the key for him. All my help there was to no avail, but I did give him some advice about getting a tow, and he was able to hook up with a free tow. I think it was the lovely people at RACQ, because his car was in a dangerous place, and they will help you move your car in that circumstance. So I was able to give him advice, and that advice was helpful, and he was grateful, which is lovely. So I was able to be of assistance. And today, just now, at the top of the Brunswick Street Mall in the valley, there's this old man crossing the road. He just falls face forward onto the road in front of the cars. I just run straight out. You know, I'm able to wave my hands around, but the cars can see the banner. So just to mitigate the risk of him or me being run over. And this other person comes running over as well, and between us, we get one under each arm, lift him up and take him into the shade and safety. I don't know if he'd been drinking or whatever. We asked if he needed an ambulance, and he just said, so I don't know if that was Orcish or Klingon or what he was talking, but we were able to at least give him that initial help. And then I shared a glance with the other person. We're like, well, I don't know, what more can you do? Force him to talk to an ambulance? Maybe we're supposed to, but he didn't want to. But yeah, anyway, the last 3 days in a row, there have been people needing assistance after years of not bumping into that. And maybe it's just because I'm more alive and I'm more out in the world. I've got, I don't know if you can see, so over here, lovely Brisbane, yeah. And behind me, strapped to the back, I've got this massive Nerf gun. So my son's been invited to a birthday party this weekend, so I dressed again as the bullfed superhero Captain Australia, went toy shopping. So I don't know, imagine yourself, you work in a toy store, I come wandering in, looking around. That's weird enough. But then I start sizing up your Nerf guns, find the biggest and the best. Because this kid, the kid whose birthday it is, he's a lovely kid. He's really sweet and smart and curious. Just a lovely, lovely kid. So, you know, I want to get him a nice present. And my son said, really, he wants a Nerf gun. Wants a good one. So we got him the best one they had, and I'm carrying it around strapped to my bag right now. It is bumping against my calves as I walk. But yeah, anyway, weird morning, and I'm starting to wonder, hang on, that's just a bit too much. Like if I walk out of my house tomorrow, it's like that Ryan Reynolds movie at the moment, Free Guy. I haven't seen it yet, but you know, he's a character in a game. You know, if I see, you know, I just got a nice smile from a cyclist. You know, if I see people in distress again tomorrow, I'm going to have to wonder, you know, maybe there is some narrative, some you know, larger entity in control of what's going on, and I've just sort of confused the system. You know, not getting up, going to work, staying at work, you know, little Facebook messages while I'm at work, go out for lunch, a beer after work, go home, watch Netflix, sleep, repeat, but by breaking from the patterns that, you know, encapsulate normal day to day, you know, I've broken the code that is steering the matrix, maybe. So weird stuff continues to happen. I mean, I get it that I'm a generator of weird stuff, but you know, if stuff that just does not seem statistically as likely as you would expect keeps happening, I'm gonna have to start to have some pretty serious philosophical musings. Anyway, that's a ramble. So, Captain Australia for Captain Australia's Big Walk, and now, actually, from this point forward, I've got to start being a bit more disciplined with these streams so that I don't just bore the living crap out of anybody who signs in. So the focus up till now has been practicing just to see if I can get the quality right. I think it's better. I hope the sound is better. I've got a new set of headphones coming that should make the sound great. So all in all, I think that's progressing. So now I need to just start to be a bit more disciplined in what I have to say. I don't know, absent any sort of feedback. Maybe you want to hear dirty limericks and dad jokes or whatever. But anyway, I'm walking now across the Story Bridge. Behind me is lovely Brisbane City, as you can see. Traffic bustling to and fro. And I'm just going to go walking down through South Bank. I'll do one of those over-the-shoulder streams, and then I'll either head home out to the western suburbs or go in through the city and maybe up through, maybe head out towards Spring Hill and over there to the valley. Gentlemen, how you doing? G'day. They were openly curious, as you would be, I suppose. Okay, so yeah, Captain Australia's Big Walk, it's for the Kids Cancer Project. If you can find it in your heart to show some support for that charity, please. It's an incredibly worthy cause. And that's about it, really. So I will, in a little while, set up for one of these over-the-shoulder streams and show you a bit of beautiful Brisbane. So if you are from somewhere else in the world, you will get to see this beautiful city firsthand as you ride along on my shoulder. But for now, Captain Australia, signing out. G'day, Captain Australia again. We're just going to do another over-the-shoulder test stream, all in preparation for Captain Australia's Big Walk for the Kids Cancer Project. So, I'm just going to set you up to ride on my shoulder, and we'll walk through Brisbane so that when I get home, I can see the quality of the streams and know whether I can have confidence that later on my big walk, when I'm walking through Coffs Harbour or when I'm in the middle of nowhere and attacked by a dingo, we will catch some of the lovely vision that can be caught. So, let's set you up firstly. Let's see, first I'll have to spin this around. There we go. And then strap this in. You know, it's all so easy for Iron Man.
supposedly a genius, you know, you can make a suit of armor out of nothing. Well, I'm working with nothing, or some pretty rudimentary sort of gear here, but I struggle with the basic stuff. So, let's see. Let's get you strapped in, and then walk. So my hope is that I've learned from past mistakes with camera placement and camera movement and all of that stuff, so that when we walk now, you'll just see a lovely little riverside walk, and you'll be able to see most of what I see. So that should be okay. Now I'm just going to lift this heavy pack. I gave blood today, so you might see it's a bit leaking through my magic shirt, which is not good. So I'm supposed to only mainly use this arm, and this pack is getting a wee bit bloody heavy, to be honest. So that slight little adjustment, that should work. Okay, Captain Australia, let's get it together. Oh, hey, heavy. Okay. Oh. So, you are now on my back. Let's see where you are. Probably could be a bit higher than that. I hope I don't turn the stream off or do anything too stupid. And if I do, like all mistakes, the priority is to learn from them and move forward. If you learn from it, it is no longer called a mistake, it is called a lesson. So you can stop kicking yourself around and feeling bad for your mistakes and start to lean into them and own them. And I think that will make you better, smarter, and wiser, more productive as a human being and as a teacher. Not that I'm any of those things, but, you know, own your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Morph them into lessons. So the sound should be okay. And the video should be okay. And now I'm just really going to walk and maybe chat a little. And when I get home, we'll see what the quality is like. The last one I was reasonably happy with. Yesterday's stream. So I just saw an old man fall down in the middle of the street. Had to rush over into traffic and help him get back up again. I mean, he wouldn't have been young. When I say old, in his 80s, I reckon. Okay, so you should see the river and the city as we toddle downstairs. Now, last time we went down these stairs, there was a big poo at the bottom. G'day, mate. Just talking to my camera. How are you?
You're looking good.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Are you going up and down these, are you?
Yes, mate.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was healthy. Long time ago. Oops. And I'm banging the Nerf gun on the ground. Let's lift that up. So you should see some ferries and the beautiful Brisbane River and the gardens. I'm carrying this big Nerf gun strapped to my back, and it's whacking against the steep stairs. So I just have to be a bit careful. As an old fool, I can only keep one, maybe two things in my mind at any given moment. So if I have to concentrate on my personal safety, plus holding a Nerf gun up, the quality of my coherent speech will dip off. Now, I don't want to get in this lovely bloke's way as he goes to run back up the stairs, so I better toddle down, because he is wanting to go up. Sorry, mate, I'll get right out of your way.
Okay.
How many flights have you done so far?
3.
Good on you. Good on you, man. All the best, eh?
Have a nice day.
You too, man. Lovely bloke. Fit as fit can be, Jesus Christ. I'd like to be that fit. If I came out of Captain Australia's big walk all ropey muscle and none of this sort of embarrassing chub, that'd be pretty cool. I've already lost 50-something kilos and regained about 6, I think, as I resumed normal eating. So, you know, it's more than possible. And if you're an older person, dealing with the problem. Your problem might just be that, you know, your physical self, aging, putting on weight, slower metabolism. So I can give you an extreme example of how, yeah, you can remedy that. You know, if you just cultivate a bit of hope of positive change and do the work, you can have transformation in like just a few months. So the bulk of my weight, I lost the first 40 kilos in the first 3 months. And then after that, resumed eating a bit, so it sort of stabilized. And the weight loss speed slowed down. I did get a bit sick and malnourished, actually. I was not smart in the way I did it, which is probably something that I could safely say with most things that I do. But again, being stupid can be a great strength, because the more mistakes you make, as long as you have that approach to turn them into lessons, well, you're getting a lot of lessons. Oh, I don't know if you can see this bird. What a beautiful... Oh, it was the light. He's just a little sparrow or something, but he had like this glowing pink chest, like this very vibrant pink on his chest, but it's because he landed on these lights. So they light up the Kangaroo Point cliffs, which you can see on the left here. There are lights, these little things here, shine up on the cliffs, make them very beautiful at night. But I didn't think it was on during the day. So when I saw this bird landing on it, had this vibrant pink chest. So it's either Pennywise the clown in disguise, or I thought maybe a rare and beautiful bird. As it turns out, it was a bird with a light shining on it. You're a fool, Captain Australia. Grow up, you old fool. Okay, walking. The pack is nice and heavy now, like proper heavy. It doesn't feel too bad on my back. The weight is well distributed. But in terms of just extra sheer mass that I'm carrying when I walk, it's almost as if I'm carrying the weight that I've lost. I don't think it's quite that much. It's not close to 50k, but I reckon it's probably, when you lift it up free weight, I think it's a good 30. I'll have to weigh it one of these days so I can talk facts instead of speculate. But yeah, I think it's great for your health. It really, you know, as long as you're sensible and you build it over time, you know, don't do anything high risk or silly, I think it's just great for building that strength. It's kind of like, you know, the idea of Superman coming from a planet with denser gravity, and then when he comes to Earth, he can leap tall buildings at a single bound, because, you know, when you take all of that pressure off, you are strong. So by, you know, rucking around, you know, your heart has to work harder, your lungs have to work harder, your muscles have to work harder. And therefore, when you take all the gear off, you're just that bit stronger than if you were just walking without. Anyway, so where's the camera position now? Yeah, that, to my sort of, no, it might be a little low. No, it should be right. I'm hoping and thinking that that camera angle is good. And if it's not, that means I still got learning to do. Okay. Look, well, isn't this lovely? Two blokes holding hands. Oh, it might be a person with a disability and carer. Might not be romantic. It's really sweet. Get over to the walkie path. Yeah, it could be family members or something. My first response when I saw the two guys holding hands was how sweet it was. It was like, you know, a romantic thing. But it's still sweet, but probably for different reasons. I think the older guy might have a disability. Could be a son or a carer or even a professional. Caring. And I think caring is just the fundamental of getting better as a person. Wherever you're at, you know, if you inject that extra little bit of kindness into your life, it will improve things for you. And it will improve things for the world around you. You know? So it's kind of our responsibility, really, and our self-interest to be kind to each other. I guess that's all I'm about, really. I see people grin when they look at me. Their inner dialogue doesn't matter. They're smiling, you know? So that's a gift that I've given, even if their thoughts are a little bit, that guy's a bloody idiot. Because they're not wrong. I can't objectively disagree. But either way, because it's colour and a little bit of humour, a smile, you know, injected into the day of that person, I think that's a gift. It's a kind act, and therefore a good thing. Even if it's contaminated a little bit, and some people think unkind thoughts. These dudes I met on the Gold Coast, on first run, they're like, storm over and they're all, "G'day, how you doing? How are you?" Sorry? I'm going to walk to Melbourne at the end of the year for the Kids Cancer Project. So it's Captain Australia's big walk. I'm a cancer survivor myself, so walking is my way to get healthy and heal. And I realised, hang on, if I'm doing all this bloody walking, let's do it for a charity as well. And there you go. So, yeah, I leave on the 26th of December from King George Square. And I arrive in Melbourne 10 weeks odd later, I reckon, sleeping rough. I did it as a kid. I walked from Brisbane to Sydney as a kid. So it was a very healing sort of a thing. And
So you're raising money?
yeah, it's all pretty much online, but I can take a cash donation. I just need to chuck your name into the. Oh, thank you. So it's $10. And so what?
I don't need my name. No.
I'll put it in anonymous then, mate. And anonymous, yeah. I can't. Currently, my phone's on, so I can't actually. Oh, thank you. So that's $30 received. I got a pencil somewhere.
You know,
Anonymously.
Anonymous. What do you call scooter guys?
Anonymous scooter guys. Cool. Yeah. I can't enter it in just at the moment. Yeah. I'm going to get a couple. This is version 1. I'm going to get a couple of other, because for the walk, I got to be filthy and sweaty and horrible, so I need some backup clothes. So I'm going to get like a camo version as well, and maybe a desert version or something.
So when do you take off?
26th of December. So that's actually my birthday as well, and it's the pretty much smack on the 5th year of my own. So I had a stage 4 cancer and 6 months to live, sort of a deal. And it just wrecked me. And it's only from last December that I've started to pull myself together and just develop hope in my life, you know. And so the 26th of December is like the 5th anniversary of the end of that. And that's where the doctors start to lose interest in you and say, you know, piss off, you're not sick anymore. Just go, you know, be happy, live long and prosper sort of deal. So touch wood. Yeah, I think I did actually. Like I believe there's a higher spiritual meaning to our life, but I don't have a relationship with that myself, but I'm surrounded by a lot of beautiful people who do. So yeah, I reckon if they were praying for me, that might very well have helped, and I'm sure that they were. Yeah, so touch wood. But yeah, I'm healed. I don't have cancer today. It's not remission or any of that sort of stuff. It was total metabolic response to treatment. But cancer tries to suck the life out of you as well as kill you. It's not just bang, you're dead. It's like your hope, your love for other people, other people's love for you, because you become cranky and distanced, and you know, all this horrible shit it inflicts on your life, you know. So for me, it's the idea that kids suffer through that was
What's your name?
Simon, yeah. Peter and Paul. We need a Mary, and then we got the band sorted, haven't we?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, the band.
Yeah. What did they have? They were. Was it Puff the Magic Dragon? You remember that one? And that was all about, I think, the old Smoky Smoke, I think, yeah. Yeah, there were a few songs, like, what was the Beatles? They had, like, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Yeah, that was all LSD, right? Yeah. So there's a few songs like that. But yeah, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
You're going to get all the way to Melbourne, eh?
Yeah, well, I initially... Yeah, I don't anticipate that I'll have a problem getting in, but... It's all volatile, isn't it? I might get stuck down there and not be able to get back, and that will suck. I have 3 young kids. That was the worst part of getting cancer, having 3 little kids, and the idea that I abandoned them. Yeah. So we've got it pat. Like she, you know, there's her problems, there's my problems, but they're both our problems. So because this is good for my healing, she's hugely supportive of it. So she'll be taking care of the kids while I'm gone, and hopefully I'll just be able to get straight back when I'm done. But if not, if I'm stuck in Melbourne surrounded by COVID, then it is what it is. Yeah, well, if you ever watch if you're in front of a computer, you can search the project. They did a story on me like a couple of weeks ago. It was really good. I mean, the way that I put my story across is all over the shop, I reckon. But they edited it together really nicely. But also then after that happened, I got invited on the Today Show, with Stefan Novick and that. They were less kind, so they leaned more into the funny of it, I reckon. So, but yeah, if you jump on the computer, you can see like Today Show Captain Australia's Big Walk or the Project Captain Australia's Big Walk, and they're both, one is funny and one is, I think, kind of heartwarming, and together they might provide a fuller picture, I suppose. Yeah. But that Stefanovic guy, he kept making fat jokes. I know I'm stocky, but yeah, I mean, the cancer wrecked my thyroid. The radiation destroyed my thyroid. After treatment, I put on like 60 kilos. So I was in December, just this past December, literally out here, like full on. I've lost like 50 kilos just doing all this bloody walking, which is pretty good. Yeah, you can't do much more when you're that heavy too, because your joints and all that will get all messed up. You can do yourself some real harm. But they look like fun. We can do this while we well, you're developing, your agility and reflexes, if nothing else. I keep saying to myself, I've got a, I have a travel insurance company, and it collapsed with the COVID border closures and shit. So we're a bit tight on money. But I keep saying, I've got 3 young kids, and just what hella fun it must be to just get a few of these and go piss roaring through town. Well, I've been a Brisbane boy for young. So I was born in New South Wales, and when I was 15, I had lived in Brisbane, but I walked down to Sydney to live with my grandma because my mum was a junkie. That was my first big walk. Left home young, and that's why I had the idea to do it again as an older man, because when I did it when I was young, it was escaping a really shitty, dark situation, and it was like it gave me hope. It was like just leaving a hospital room where you thought you were going to die, and I needed that feeling again. So I reached back for that, I guess. But yeah, I'd been living in Brisbane for most of my childhood. Before age of 7, we went everywhere. Hippie communes in the Blue Mountains, Indigenous communities up north, all over the bloody place. And I feel like Brisbane's home though. It's where I've lived most of my life, and it's where I settled and got married and had kids and all that sort of stuff. So. Yeah, but technically I'm a cockroach. I was born in New South Wales. Okay. Like a cockroach, maybe I'm hard to kill. Do you want your $30 back? Sorry, I gotta write that down too. One thing, if I don't, I'll bloody forget to do it when I get home. One thing drives out another. Roadside scooter gentlemen. So sorry, forgive me if I get a little. Scooter boys it is, yeah.
Yeah, can I get a photo with you?
Oh, yeah, of course you can. Let me just zip this back up. Yeah, cheers.
All right, yeah, take one. Thanks, Simon. I've done something dodgy here, Pete. I've done something dodgy. Watch out, we're waiting. Man, I'm hopeless with these things. What the hell is going on? Now it's... Hang on. Sorry, Pete, I just accidentally pressed the wrong button at the wrong time, and now I'm trying to get out of it.
You've probably got a close-up of our groins or something, I reckon, buddy. Yeah, good?
Beautiful.
Lovely. Well, gentlemen, genuine pleasure bumping into you. And, yeah, thanks for supporting the charity. That's awesome.
Anyone that's out there making a difference, I'm all for it.
Yeah,
and you'll find a lot of people aren't, a lot of us.
Yeah, I think that it's really about encouraging that too. Like for me, I've found what I could do with my own healing is only so much. But when you add that layer of kindness and doing the right thing and doing a good thing, just amplifies it up to the, it becomes something completely more powerful. And it's like the Buddhists have always said, kindness is the antidote to suffering. And I'm finding that is a very true thing, And I think other people can benefit from that too. There's so much shit in the world these days. I mean, I don't, is it just me? Like, there's all these young people with like this epidemic of anxiety and depression, almost as if like when I was in the 80s, a kid who was trying to like dress up as a goth or whatever, that was how you would be cool. But these days it's like have some sort of flamboyant pain in your life, and that's your story and what you're about. Be as confused and hurt and anxious as possible. And I mean, I meet all these people that are just broken and in need of, not as broken as I was. And that's my story, I guess. If you're broken, you can get up and fix yourself,
You will attract people. And as you go through life, you're going to find there's a lot of guys on YouTube. We're into the crypto as well. A lot of guys on YouTube knowing that there's a lot of wealth being distributed.
Right.
Probably not a bad idea. Put up a crypto wallet, just a QR code when they come on your site. I accept all crypto.
Okay.
Wallet, so Ethereum wallet and a Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah.
Someone will show you how to do it.
Okay. No. Well, the charity controls the taking of the payment.
No,
There's
it's for you on your own, because you're going to have your own channel too.
Yeah.
It's just say I'm taking donations as well.
Yeah.
Cover me costs.
Crypto.
Crypto. Yeah, crypto.
So have you become like Bitcoin billionaires or anything like that? You've made a lot of money from it? Yeah.
I
Okay.
started back in 2011, 12 when it first started.
Yeah, if I was smarter, I would have. I was a corporate Australia guy at the time, and my brother bought a bunch of Bitcoin, and he said, "Oh, you should buy some." And I'm like, "Look, here's 10 grand. Pick some up." But he actually just borrowed the 10 grand and did some other shit with it, and then I needed it back to put it in the mortgage, and yeah. So if I had 10 grand of Bitcoin, then I'd probably be a millionaire now.
If you grab Hex, H-E-X,
Yeah.
grab some of that. You'll need Ethereum to buy it, and there's a new one coming out, Pulse Chain, Pulse.
Can this stuff just evaporate overnight though? Is it high risk? Or?
No, because you're talking about projects that there's a community. And there are ones where the kids are getting down there trying to get money and then they dump and run, right? They're the uni kids trying to gather money. Yes, you got those ones.
Right.
But the good projects, I'm putting you on a really, really good project, and there's about $15 billion worth behind it.
Okay.
So, these guys, and it's coming out.
And it's all about pulling away from the conventional power dynamic of banks and governments attached to the banks, and it's like.
And we've got like a little savings program that gives you 35% per annum, and whoever doesn't.
What the fuck?
Yeah, whoever doesn't.
What in the sweet leaping? Fuck 35%?
Money in, right? So this.
Yeah.
And if you need money, you've got to go buy a house, or you take money. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't take the price. And the ones that have got money who don't need them, leave the money there.
I thought it was just like an organized crime vehicle to subvert the way money moves around the world. You know what I mean? To make money decentralized, less traceable, and therefore.
But it is traceable. This is what a lot of people think it's not. It's open ledger.
Right. Yeah.
So you can actually, you can track everybody, and one day they're going to crack down on us. As soon as you take enough from these guys, that's when they're going to really get.
Well, by then, hopefully, the power balance is skewed enough that you can just kind of unify and manipulate the outcome a bit, and say fuck you to the regulators and let the banks erode,
Yeah, let the system die, and then they're going to have to somehow.
And that's how revolutionary change happens. Something has to die, and a new thing has to be built. That's what human history is. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure that's happening now, but it seems like for the most part, it's about the individual as opposed to a corporate exploitation. So that can only be better, really, because individuals tend to have a more consistent human conscience and consciousness than corporations.
There are guys in the crypto world. If you've got a cause and you get out there and it's no big deal to chuck $100, $1,000. It's just no big deal.
Okay, I had never even thought about that.
Because these guys, they don't want to put their money back into the legacy world. They are millionaires and billionaires now. Right? We're talking 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds. They bought their whatever they were going to buy, and they realise that hang on a minute, I want to get back into the community. So they get back into the community. Some of them are Christian focused, and some, but it's pretty much everyone.
So I take it you're a person of faith, yeah? Well, so what about, so which was Peter and which was Paul? I don't know. Peter, Paul, yeah. So you also Paul?
Yeah, I believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well,
I'm not religious,
We're not
fanatics. Religious.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about that. Well, I have these like this therapist on my shoulder, and I talk about things that I believe in, whatever. And just this morning, I saw an old man fall over. I've had these weird moments where suddenly I'm in the middle of like superhero up, and I've got to help people. Like this old man fell over in traffic just now in the valley, and I was able to pick him up and help him out. But I've been having these like musings about, it would be so weird for anyone who saw it, you know what I mean? But yeah, the old gentleman was like, he was just like just a valley boy, I suppose. But yeah, the idea of, of faith, objective reality, all of that sort of stuff. I've been talking about it a lot, and it's weird the frequency that it comes up with. Maybe it's a sign, when you fall in love when you're ready to fall in love, right? It's not about finding the right person for you. It's about the barriers that are in you, letting go of them and opening yourself up to fall in love, right? I think maybe that's what faith and all of that stuff's about as well. It's about pulling your walls down a little bit. And maybe I'm coming alive and being open and shit more than I was. And that's why all these conversations, these fascinating talks about, faith and all that is coming out.
And wealth and where is it going and who's got it?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, man. Some of these guys walking around there, very wealthy. Some of these people you're going to bump into. You never pick it, and they're all dressed pretty ordinary, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, let's hope that one or two of them go, that Captain Australia, the Kids Cancer Project, that sounds pretty good. So if you know a bunch of these crypto communities, by the way, hey, check out Captain Australia's Kid Walk. Yep. Kid Walk. That sounds like creepy pedophile. Captain Australia's Kid Walk, doesn't it? Captain Australia's Big Walk for the kids.
Out there. I'm 100% sure that it's going to get out there. But you've got to set yourself. They say set yourself up to win, right? So
Hex is the new emerging cryptocurrency.
And then once you do that, get your wallet. You're going to have a wallet. Get a MetaMask wallet, and then you get the QR code that's off that, which is your address, and you put that up there, and people can pay you in Ethereum. So people want to bless you, or they want to donate, they'll say, send you Ethereum, and Ethereum's $4,000.
Jesus Christ.
You've got thousands of them.
Ethereum to me sounds like the kind of thing Captain Australia's shield should be made out of. You know what I mean? It sounds like a vibranium or something like a.
And you would get a lot of the crypto guys if you put any advertisement with the Ethereum logo is a diamond.
Okay.
Yeah. Quite interesting. Yeah. You carry a shield with a diamond on it, which is people. Man, they're going to say with the QR code on it. Woohoo.
Fellas, I've had quite an education from this, I think. I
just don't know where it'll go.
It's been really important to me not to miss a beat. I've wrapped a lot of my own healing up in being of great service to this charity. I think it's a good charity. It's an important charity. So as I help them, it helps me, and it helps me get better and stronger. So I'm really invested, and I'm saying to myself, get it right. Don't fuck it up. Don't miss a beat. Be smart. Get out every day and walk around with this stupid banner flopping against trees and stuff. But cryptocurrency,
The guy who made Hex, his name's Richard Hart.
Yeah.
He raised $27 million in less than 2 months.
Sweet weeping Jesus.
While he was raising $15 billion for his project.
How old is the currency? Like, is it just the last couple of years or something?
2 years old. And this new chain, because the chain's too bogged down and it's got congested, it's like old, Ethereum now's old hat, believe it or not. He's created another chain that moves faster and it can do more transactions and all that. So all these...
I've got to better understand the way the money flows in and out. Like when you talk about a chain and it being congested, like that's all total new education to me, mate.
That's when they say blockchain.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a computer... a line with little blocks in it, and there's all this information, and they're time stamped.
Okay, so you've got all these people who were smart enough to become so to bypass the normal, go to a factory, do some work, get $80, go home, can't afford to eat, sort of pay the rent scenario. They're smart, they've got their wealth, they've got their time. These are exactly the people that I want to have an opportunity to say, look, this is worth looking at. Hey,
have you got a YouTube page and all that?
Yeah. I've got a personal blog, a YouTube thing. I do these Facebook streams, and I've got the charity has a page as well.
Get yourself a shield with Ethereum on it, and then go Pulse Chain. You put Pulse Chain, and you'll get the Hexagon community behind you. These guys.
Did you just say Hexagon, like a Mexican immigrant kind of thing?
Hexagons, okay. They got a name.
Okay.
So you've got a Hexagon community. There's about 200,000 wallets.
I was just about to make a bunch of racist jokes then, you know, like, do they like the tacos, por favor, kind of thing, which is just, it's just fucked. I'm sorry, I am not, you know, love all people, all cultures, and all this shit. I don't. Yeah, it's all that's all gone a bit wrong, isn't it? As long as it's love, like if people make fun of me, I'm delighted by it. You know. Yeah.
That's what Jesus is all
Well,
about.
yeah, you know, like you're not, and humor and sharing humor is one of the easiest and most unpolluted ways to share that circle, I reckon, of just like joyfulness, you know. So if I make fun of your beard or whatever, it's a magnificent beard, but yeah, big deal. It's not hurting you. You love it. You take it in your stride, and we're all happy, you know. Yeah, my beard's terrible. I got all these like bald patches from the radiation down the side too. So yeah, luckily the mask sort of hides half of that. God,
We stopped to chat.
I've held you up from a coffee or something, have I? Mate, an absolute bloody pleasure, Paul. All the best, man. I really wish you. Yeah, I know. If I chose any character from any story in terms of just the raw appeal, the innate worthiness of the character, of course, the first thing you got, it's not like, oh, Batman or whatever. It's Jesus and it's Christ and it's about healing and reconciliation and all that. I have read the Bible, yeah. So I when I was like 26 or something, it didn't, yeah. Maybe I need to. Maybe it's time
There
to.
are little things in there that's going to help you on your walk because people are going to come up to you, and the best information you can give them is something that's going to help them on their path.
Right, yeah. So you can give like a little bit
You'll
of
come to
scriptural
phrases.
insight or whatever.
Yeah, you just there might be some phrases that Jesus says. There'll be a couple that'll stick out to you more than anything. And you say, "Oh, I'm going to use that," and you'll be able to give it to the kids that come out and they want to photograph.
I take all these little sayings from all over the place. Like the Talmud, the Jewish Bible, has save but one life and you save the world entire. Is this beautiful quote.
We might quickly pray for you then go. Are you okay for a bit of prayer?
Yeah, for sure. How does this work?
No,
Oh, lovely.
Lord Jesus, I thank you so much for Simon. I thank you that he's a great guy, Lord. And I thank you, Lord, that you've completely destroyed this cancer in his body, Lord. I pray that the rest of his life will be prosperous, happy and good, Lord, and he'll be a great example to other people of what you can do and the goodness that you have inside you, Lord, that helps people, Lord. And I pray, Lord, that Simon can realise the love that you have for him and how much you love him and care for him, Lord Jesus, and how much you've done for him and his life and his family. And I thank you so much for him, Lord, and I pray that you give him a good walk. And I pray that you just help him along the way, Lord. Yeah. And I thank you so much for that. In Jesus' name. Amen. No worries, Simon.
Thank you, fellas. I'm a bit teared up for that, to be honest.
Bless you, man.
That's a Viking hand. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, fellas. A pleasure. An absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Hey, how you doing? No, it's not too bad, actually. It's, yeah.
Why does it come with aircon, brother?
No, just it helps with the sunburn. It protects me.
Wearing a suit, brother.
Well, we might both be crazy, but I'm happy, you know?
You're crazy, I'm mental, bro.
Oh, cheers, buddy. Yeah, so Scooter Boys, $30, and Hex and Ethereum. Cheers, fellas. Take care of yourselves. Oh, I heard a beat. Actually, let's do that. Let's sit down here. I'm just stopping, examining the stream. Oh yeah, we're still streaming. Okay, let's turn this around and we'll finish the stream up and I'll just have a little comment. So, g'day, Captain Australia. We're here by the Brisbane River. Behind me you should see the lovely city. Yes, I just had an encounter with a couple of Christian cryptocurrency guys, Peter and Paul, and they needed a Mary just to make up the band. So I'm curious to see, like, that's an encounter, a significant encounter. I'll be curious to see if, okay, fellas, how are you? In the, yeah, it's not a nervous breakdown, mate. It's not, it's,
Real life superhero. It's for charity. Yeah, it's for a kids cancer project charity. Yeah. The gentleman over there had a big look of surprise on his face. But yeah, so I had a significant encounter, and the over-shoulder camera may have captured some, all, or none of it. The audio now might not be on properly. I heard it do a weird little beep. I'm looking forward to getting my new microphone, which should just, it won't die. It should run 7 hours solid, so that'll be a notable improvement. And I'm looking forward to getting home and checking out the quality of this stream. So I had an encounter then where these Christian cryptocurrency guys, lovely boys, the scooter boys, so they gave $30 to the charity. So that's why I need to interrupt the stream so I can just jump online and donate that on their behalf from my credit card, and then I keep the cash. This is the basic way it works. But yeah, they prayed for me, which I thought was incredibly sweet. So I don't have a clear relationship with any higher power, but I have a strong sense that there is some sort of spiritual structure underpinning our physical world. I just don't know what that is. And I'm given to science, but I think there's a point where science, philosophy, religion, they all intersect, really. And you know, the answer for a fully and a complete life is probably you're best served if you draw on all of those areas: your spirituality, you know, your rationality, and your science. Anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. So yeah, I had this nice, lovely encounter with these guys, and I need to just go on and do that donation on their behalf before I forget. But they also told me about Hex, Ethereum, and all these cryptocurrencies that, for me, just in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit dodgy. But all of these inventive, clever people have made millions of dollars from it, just sort of decentralizing wealth a little, I think, you know, moving it away from banks into these new community banks, I think it is in concept. So it's interesting, and I want $1 million. I would love to have $1 million. I have negative $300,000 at the moment, and no means to create more. So after I help the charity, when I get home, I need to figure out what next. I don't think I'm going to be able to become a cryptocurrency millionaire, but I'm definitely going to read up about it. I think most likely I'll just find a normal job somewhere. Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that either. Maybe I'll find a weird job. I don't know, we'll see. If I raise a lot of money for the charity, maybe I can keep doing charitable works, but maybe parlay it into some sort of a professional situation. I don't know. For now, I'm just this broke old fool living off his mortgage. And if you are in financial distress, right, take comfort from that. Like, we are in the luckiest country in the world that, you know, if you really fall down, there's you know, all these social welfare programs, resources through Centrelink that you can get access to. I get a carer payment because of my son's disabilities. That's really helpful. But for the most part, because I was did pretty well in corporate Australia and with my travel insurance company before COVID killed it, we just got well ahead with cash. This is all private stuff that you're not meant to not meant to talk about, I suppose. But you know, I think there are a lot of people really stressed out about money and the future and all of that. And if you see another human being who, honestly, I have 3 children, I have a house that I'm a bit concerned about losing, but I don't give a shit. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to swear. At the end of the day, money is just one thing in your life. And if it's the only thing that you pursue, I wouldn't say shame on you, but I would say there is more available to you. Give of your heart, and be friendly and have adventures. Create. Do crazy things if you want to. Do sane things if you want to, but create. Make art, make music, you know. But yeah, don't just make it all about money, only about money. Money's nice, money's good. But anyway, geez, there's a lot of muscly people running around exercising here. I guess I better get back to it. So yeah, sorry, I've had a little adventurous day and an interesting encounter. So I'm curious to see the quality of these streams when I get home. Anybody at any point now or in the future watching this, thank you for tolerating my insane rambling. I hope you can see I hope you can see hope in it. In December, I was dead. I was on the edge of done. Like I was just a shade walking through my day-to-day life, and I did not have hope of healing. And yet today I'm sitting in the sun in front of this beautiful city, dressed as a buffet superhero. I can't justify that part, but I am invested in life again. And if you feel lost, that's available to you as well. You just have to take stock, stop just for a moment, close your eyes, and figure out in which direction hope lays, and then you get up and start walking. And that's what the big walk is a metaphor for. So I'm on that walk now. I haven't started the actual physical big walk, but metaphorically I've been doing it for close to a year now. I hope you'll join me. Anyway, all the biggly best. I better do this donation thing now before I forget. Scooter Boys, $30. Thank you for your kind donation to the Kids Cancer Project. And if anybody watching feels so inclined, you'll find a sticky post with a link to a Raisley charity page. That's the Kids Cancer Project's portal for collecting donations. So you can chuck your credit card or whatever in there. I don't think they take crypto. Maybe they should. Anyway, all the best. This is Captain Australia signing out.